Hi there, I'm Justin Pritchard for Driving.ca, and in this video, we're taking a look at 3 of my favorite rides when it comes to delivering excellent ride quality and comfort on really nasty roads and trails. And we'll be taking a look at a 4th bonus model at the end of the video as well, but let's start with a tour of the roads in Sudbury, Ontario, where I live. So this is where I live, and many of our roads look like this, or like this, and this sort of thing in springtime is pretty much everywhere. Really bad roads. So if you live here too, or somewhere like it, these 3 vehicles have become my favorites for taking the stress and discomfort out of driving over really badly maintained roadways, and that translates directly into some solid ride quality if you hit the trails too. If you're after a comfortable and low-stress ride over the sorts of surfaces that bust wheels and blow tires and make you swear out loud and apologize to your car, here's where I'd suggest you look. These are 3 of the very best machines I've driven recently when it comes to smoothing out really nasty surfaces. Let's start with the Ford Ranger. We'll be seeing another Ford at the end of this video too, but this is the Ranger FX4 I drove last year, and I left impressed with how it handled some of the rough roads and trails that I usually test ride quality on. Now, most pickups handle this stuff pretty well, but I think where Ranger really nails it is with this suspension that you get on the FX4 package with dual reservoir shocks and special suspension bits that work together to manage not only the ride comfort, that is the ability to literally soak up the bumps, but also the body motions of the truck when the going gets rough. The result was a better highway ride than I expected. It feels like you're driving a big tall car here, and off-road or on really nasty paved roads, those special shocks use special components to strategically control the way they respond to bumps across their entire range of travel. So where some trucks feel very jouncy and jiggly and busy, Ranger sort of does a lot more floating. Even on moguls or pothole-covered roads, that means less of the impact makes its way into the cabin, and that the Ranger's body stays stable more of the time. And when it is jostled around, it does it very smoothly and with a feeling of precise control. The result is that it feels natural, refined, largely unbothered on rougher roads and surfaces, and that it turns in a pretty solid highway drive as well. Next, the Jeep Gladiator. Not the most comfortable off-road ride here, and not the most comfortable on really rough paved roads either, but to me what this does really well is feels tough. You know when you're on something rough, and you know when you've whacked a good crater or dip, but it feels so unfazed. The suspension is quiet under fire. There's no popping, snapping, no sense that you've maybe damaged or broken something. You've got smoother riding options, even if this Gladiator's modernized suspension and steering and longer wheelbase do improve the ride a good deal, especially on the highway. It is much more friendly to drive at highway speed, I think, than previous generation Wrangler models, but when the going gets rough, I love how tough this feels at every turn, leaving you with the impression that you're in something that's built to feel very durable. And the biggest smiles for me came from driving the Gladiator over Sudbury's pothole-covered roads. Every single pothole strike, the vehicle just seems to say, didn't hurt. It's very satisfying. Now, if you're after all-out ride comfort, I'm going to put some footage up of my very favorite, and that is this Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And thanks to its Fox shocks and special suspension calibration, I would gladly tell you this is the most comfortable I've ever been on my usual trails, the best ride I've ever seen on Sudbury's pothole-covered roads, and actually, it is a fantastic highway drive too. Even absolutely pummeling the suspension, this thing feels so chill and controlled. Nothing seems to bother it. There's some real magic in the way they've set this suspension up, and the sensation of floating over moguls or dips or potholes that everyone else has to avoid just never gets old. You are looking at one of the most comfortable rides I've ever experienced, and that's almost no matter what you're driving over. So those are my 3 favorites based on machines that I've recently driven. There is one more model I'm going to put on this list. I haven't driven it yet. I'm very excited to, and that particular model is the new 2021 Ford Bronco. Let me put up some footage that will explain why it's on our list. Now I'll play this loop a few times and watch the way the body moves over the wheels and suspension. Now this should be hitting dealers a bit later this year, and what I want you to watch is the way the body moves over the wheels and suspension. Am I the only one that thinks this looks just beautiful in action? And if you watch closely, I figure you can actually see how comfortable this thing is going to be when its suspension is under fire. I've watched these shots 100 times. I think this looks like it is going to be in the same ballpark as that 4Runner in terms of ride comfort being maintained almost no matter what. I just find with this footage, it looks beautiful in motion. You can almost see how comfortable this is going to ride on the rough stuff. And for an in-depth look at the new Bronco or more info on any of the other models I've shown you here, check for links in the description below. Well, that's it for this video. My name is Justin Pritchard for Driving.ca. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you never miss a new upload. And I will leave you with a little bonus montage that I've put together using some archive footage from Ford that shows us what rough road testing and engineering of Ford Bronco used to look like decades ago. I think you'll get a kick out of some of this footage. We'll see you in the next video.
This is a new entrant in the fun youth market. Bronco 2 is a utility vehicle derived from the 4x4 Ranger. Initially, at the Arizona Proving Grounds, test procedures were designed to test full-sized pickup trucks, 4x2 and 4x4.